Hi everybody. Alright, so this video and next is a very special combo. I know I'm always saying that, but what we're doing now is we're taking the plane off of plug-in power, which we facilitate using that 12-volt power supply in that right bucket. We're taking that offline and we are going to reroute so that the plane can be under its own electrical power. First thing we do, you can see I mounted up the first EarthX battery on the firewall there in the number 2 position. So all we need to do to reroute the power is disconnect that 12-volt power supply, move it out of the way. It currently uses the alternator line into the bus manager, so we're going to tape that up so that no one can touch it, and then sort of bundle that up, waiting for the battery, well I say the battery, the alternator to show up later. Who knows when that's going to be. Then we need to, we're going to redo the grounding cables, which is what we're actually doing in this video. You can see the gigantic number 4 cable spool there I got in the left bucket. We're going to create a couple lines that go from the firewall grounding spot to both batteries. And we're also going to redo the grounding cable from the Forest of Tabs grounding blocks over to the grounding point on the firewall. That's it. And at that point, we have power to the plane. So the reason we have to redo the wire from the Forest of Tabs is I've been using like a number 14 cable. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, it handles the amount of power we're using now, but you need to have, you need a less resistive wire. You need something that can handle more current without getting too hot, and so we're going to replace that with a number 10. The ground wires that go to both batteries on the front of the firewall will be number 4s. You're seeing me working on one here with gigantic lugs, and I'm soldering those on. So I'm going to crimp the lugs on, then you solder them, and then we shrink wrap on top of that. And if you notice, we're actually using really cool sealed lugs. So, you know, normally battery lugs are just flat pieces of metal with wings on them that wrap around, and here you can see in slow-mo look at that. See those big old copper lugs? See how they're sealed? Actually, here's a picture of one. Isn't that nice? So it's great because with the solder inside, with the crimp, so now the end of the cable will not be exposed to the atmosphere. So that will help them stay corrosion-free for much longer. So good. So yeah, we're going to have, so that small battery cable that you just saw, that goes from the firewall grounding point over to the negative terminal of the first battery. And at that same terminal, we're going to have a second cable wired in, and that's going to go all the way to the negative terminal on the second battery. So we're going to have 2 big wires. And those 2 wires are going to be connected at the first battery, and they're actually going to be connected together with jam nuts. God forbid the first battery melts. That way the ground connection from the firewall to the second battery will still exist, if that makes sense. Okay, I'll show you all that later. A couple of announcements. So Oshkosh, 2 weeks. Leave for then. Very exciting. Can't wait to see everyone. Get out of town. 2, I would like to give a shout out to Mr. James Dorn. James is an RV-10 builder who gave Vans my builder number, and once again, got a check in my hand. Thank you very much, James. Good luck with the build. RV's a great experience, and the 10s are monsters. Man, if those things were aerobatic, I'd be doing one of those. All right, so there's the big cable. You can see me working there. So next video, we're going to get all these wires hooked up. We're going to get this plane outside. We're going to test out some power, and I'll have pictures of everything else there as well. So have a great weekend. I hope everyone's having a good July. Talk to you later. Thank you for joining me. See you soon.